What's up, guys? So today I'm just going to do a short video for you today about a little bit of an upgrade for the Toyotas. Everybody knows the headlights have a little bit of a kind of a voltage drop issue. Leaves them being a little bit dim. I know a lot of people think these lights have leave a lot to be desired, and they do. And I don't really want to do LEDs or the drop-ins. I really never had good experience with the cartridge headlights. My third gen used to burn through headlights like once a year, and I don't know if that was a DRL, if it was like a voltage drop issue or what the problem was, but eating $100 a year on headlights really just kind of brings the suck. So instead of updating these headlights to a drop-in, the next best thing really is to do a harness upgrade. And kind of what goes on with the Toyota is these are a ground switched headlight scenario. So you have power to the headlight, through the headlight, back all the way across the car to the dash, where it gets switched at the multi switch, and then it grounds out like on the A-pillar or something like that. So you've got a shitload of extra wire in there. It's kind of a lighter gauge wire. 30-year-old truck's going to start showing signs of voltage drop, which creates a dim headlight, which sucks for nighttime driving. So this truck, the lights are super dim at night. I don't think they're adjusted really that well. Put in a little clip of the nighttime driving here so you can see like how dim, how yellow they actually are. Plus the headlights in here have been, the harness has been hacked. And again, this is one of those things where, like the headlight scenario, I can't really blame someone for being in there. A lot of times on these, the battery gassing, the battery spilling will eat the plug-in on the right-hand side of the car. Honestly, there's really no reason for the left-hand side to be touched or messed with unless it melted down because of a resistance thing, or you got in there and just broke it, or whatever the case may be. So either way, this car has both headlight plug-ins has been modified, and the wiring job that kind of goes on here is just, I mean, there's really no other excuse. It's just piss poor. Like twisting wires and tape is good for like the 1800s maybe, but when you're dealing with real voltage and new cars, it really should be cleaner than that. So I'm going to dig into this. I'm going to swap this harness out for a it's just an updated harness, and it's, instead of running all the current through the harness, through the car harness itself, it's just specified to this headlight harness. We're adding new relays, all new wiring, new plugins for all the headlights, and it should make a pretty significant upgrade for a fraction of the cost of what it would cost to update your headlights. So we're going to get busy with that here real quick. Alright, so I can kind of show you what's going on in here. I'm going to have to get down in here and pull the airbox out. I'm going to also pull the battery out just to give myself more room to work. But you can see, I don't know if you can see, but you can see this wiring harness has been hacked and taped, and it's just fucked up. Same thing on this side, there's just no room to work. So I'm going to just tear all that shit out of there and put all new stuff in. So let's get going on that. Alright, so here's a better look at kind of what I've got going on here. This has obviously been spliced at some point. Again, I'm not really sure why. You can see that this is just a nice crusty plug-in. This vehicle already has drop-in headlights for whatever reason. And you can see this side is basically the same nightmare. We've had the end of the wire spliced on here somehow, and it's just, I don't know, I guess I'm not going to be able to pull that all the way out of there, but you can see we've got a drop-in headlight. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out of there. I started digging into this, and I was thinking that the wires routed, the headlight wires I thought came from the driver's side to the passenger side out to this headlight and then back across. Turns out what actually goes on is it appears that the wires come out of the deal here. They're actually splitting right here. So this is where the wires lead in. Driver's side headlight runs across the core to the passenger side headlight. So kind of, fortunately, I thought I was going to delete all those wires out of there. What I'm going to do actually now, I guess, is I'm just kind of stuck leaving it like that. So what I'm going to do is get the harness kind of in here, get this passenger side wire ready to be spliced, and get this one all cut out and tape it back up on itself so it's not shorting on itself, and get this new headlight harness in. So we've got these 3 wires. We have one wire is what's typically the power lead coming into the headlight, and then these are the switch grounds. One is high beam, one is low beam. So you have power into the light, and then it grounds on one of these wires back through the switch, back through the dimmer switch for your high and low. I'm just going to splice these out with a spade connection right here, a female spade, because that will go onto the male plug-in of the actual harness. Alright, so this is what your harness consists of. You have a high beam relay, a low beam relay. You have got each of your headlight connections with the female spade, and then you have your male connection where you plug your old car harness into. These both have their separate grounds, and it has got a separate fuse. So basically you have power to the main power of the fuses here, and then out to the headlight, and then this side is triggered by what's the old pulling side of your harness. So you have whatever would be the high beam trigger, whatever would be the low beam trigger, and then this is your the actual power into the relays. This harness is pretty much a plug and play deal. Kind of the only thing I really want to touch on here is obviously if you have a vehicle that's been unmolested, you're going to have the headlight plug into this harness and that little plug that I showed you. Because the wiring in this vehicle has been molested, what I ended up having to do was pull this is your feed harness side of it. These aren't a quarter terminal, okay? These are, I don't know, 3/8. They're not a quarter terminal. So I ended up having to swap those off for regular spades. So I'll show you what I did right here real quick. I just swapped those out for spades. So basically you have your power feed, which goes to the black or the red and black or the red and white, depending on what side you're wiring to. The low beam is the white, which is your green side. High beam is the red and yellow, which goes to the blue side. What goes on with these negative switch systems is if you just put this harness in, then you don't have the high beam indicator. And so I know this has been It was at this point I realized that the factory wiring was backfeeding through the high beam indicator lamp. Just because of the way the factory wiring is, it was hanging up the actual relays itself. This can be repaired by a quick snip of the wire in the harness. I just didn't really feel like digging into it at this point. I believe that there are manufacturers making harnesses that are truly plug and play in this situation. You can find those online through I Hate Mud and places like that, but not a huge deal for me. Just move on with my life, and that's how it works. So I just want to give a final summary on this headlight harness thing. I bought the cheap harness online. I plugged it in the way that it was supposed to go because I had the dim headlight issue, which is pretty typical on Toyota. I figured this would at least light it up a little bit because there's kind of some janky wiring on this truck, and you never know, like, the vehicle is building resistance in these circuits and things like that. So I put the harness in there and got it wired up, got everything working the way it should be, took it out for a test drive, and it was honestly just marginal at best. The problem, I think, kind of after like dealing and looking at this a little bit, is this truck has got some aftermarket reflectors in it. They are an H4 drop-in, but the reflector itself, or I don't know, the reflector, the fluting on the lens or whatever, is just horrible, and it just blows the light out. It's not focused at all. I've tried to like adjust them and move them around and get them to shine right, and they're horrible. So I need to do something different with that. I might, like I said, some of these trucks I think have like factory Toyota drop-ins, which might be a better deal for a glass headlight, or maybe I'll have to get some H4s or like some Hella or something. I don't know. I don't drive at night much, so it's not a huge deal, but What I ended up doing, just because this is just kind of unacceptable and there's not a ton of traffic like in the night around here. In fact, most of these places, and honestly, I think everywhere except for the United States, just advises you not to drive at night. Right? It's dark and it's dangerous, and there's crazy shit out there. So instead of dicking with the headlights anymore, I just bought a light bar down here. And there's some different things you could have done, Amazon and this and that, but what I ended up doing is on Facebook there was a dude selling hella brand lights and light bars and things of that nature, so I picked up a Black Magic 20-inch light bar. Alright, so like you can see, this is just a low profile 20-inch bar, and it's mostly invisible on the vehicle. So I also just wired this in a manner where it's only activated with the high beams. So I can run it with the high beams, a low high beam with a light, or I can deactivate the headlights, and just run the stock in high beam, which will activate the light with no other lighting on in the car. And basically I just did that to simplify the wiring. I can just wire it all under the hood. I don't have to run any more wires into the cab of the truck. Not that it's a big deal, but it just keeps it clean, keeps it simple. One less switch, on the dash to look at, less wires to break or get damaged or whatever like that. So, like I said, kind of a bummer, but I guess what do you expect for a $12 lighting harness? And I'm sure those drop-in reflectors are like $12 depot reflectors too, so not super spectacular parts, but problem for another day. So that said, hopefully you can take something away from this, so please like, subscribe, share. Peace.